So there we were, the two of us, stranded on a tiny sailboat in the middle of the ocean. Well, not really an ocean, just a big cove, but still, with no clue we were stuck out there. But first, let me tell you how we got here. Back when me and my brother were about 13 years old, we were given the opportunity to join a 2-week camp that teaches us how to sail a small boat. And since our dad lived very close to where the camp was, we decided to apply for it, and we both got in. The first couple of days of the camp we learned basic things, like sailor's knots and how to rig up the sails, and occasionally we would go out and be the crew for the more advanced camp there. And by crew, I mean that in our small sailboats, there would be a captain in the back to control what way the back sail goes, and there would be 1 or 2 crew to pull the rope to change the direction of the front sail. On the last day of the first week, we went out for the first time, just the beginner camp, with limited help from our instructors. For our ragtag sailing team, we had me and another guy who was brand new to all this stuff as well, who we'll call Brad for now, who will be our crew, and then our captain, who we would just call Captain, who's in his second year of the program. So we were towed out into the cove by our instructors with our motorboat, and we started sailing. Everything went pretty smoothly for the first while, but about half an hour in is where disaster hit. Obviously in sailing you use the wind to navigate, and during one of the gusts of wind, Captain must have not had a good hold on the rope that prevents the boom from swinging around, because all of a sudden, wham! The boom smoked him right in the head. He immediately went down, and since me and Brad were in the front and Captain was in the back, we couldn't even help him. We also couldn't gain control of the boat, as it was too difficult to get to the back of the boat while it was moving, combined with us not knowing how to control this thing. So we just drifted around and let the wind take us until we flagged down our instructors, which was not the most enjoyable thing in the world. One thing I can remember for certain is that while we were drifting around, another boat was leaving the little dock nearby, and as they passed in front of us, one of the guys on the boat waved to us. Now I can't remember what Brad was doing, but for some reason, I decided to wave back. I feel like I wasn't as nervous as I should have been in this situation, but oh well. Anyways, once we got the attention of our instructors, they got Captain out of our boat and into theirs, and they towed us out to a buoy. They tied us onto this said buoy, and then left us there. I mean, they did go and tow everyone else in, but they chose to leave the 2 clueless youngsters out in the middle of the cove. Anyways, after about half an hour, they came back to rescue us and take us back in, but they needed someone to control the rudder on the back of the boat so it wouldn't break. And somehow, between the 2 of us, I got chosen to do it. So while nearly falling out the boat, I got into the back and got ready to hopefully not break this thing because it's probably more expensive than I can afford. Now this thing moved a lot by its own, but thankfully it didn't break. Somehow, me and Brad made it back completely unscathed, with our nerves just a tiny bit higher than before. It turns out that Captain wouldn't be too seriously injured, but he did miss the first 3 days of the second week, and Brad must have been so shaken by this experience that he actually never came back to the camp. But I, on the other hand, went back for the whole week because overall the camp was a good time. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Another interesting thing during this camp is whenever we would have to use the bathroom while on the boat, we would just go to the back, hang ourselves down in the water, and just go. And that's what I'll leave off with. Please subscribe, I would appreciate it a ton.